This is part 4 of the 16 NLP presuppositions. We're talking about being flexible today, which is always super useful. Welcome to the Best Years Podcast. This is Dr. Darlene at whatstopsyou.com. Are you a teenager or a young parent, baby boomer, or in your golden years? The best years are now, in each stage of development. So I've got power tools for you today that will help you make amazing changes so you can show up in the world with your amazingness. I hope that the presuppositions are helping you in your life. Let's review what we've gone through already. Let's see, we've done 1 through 10. So let's review what we've done so far. And hoping these have really helped you, and when you understand them, I'm sure they will. So as a review, number 1, presupposition. Behind every behavior is a positive intention. 2, everyone's doing the best they can with the resources they know. 3, there is no such thing as failure, only feedback. 4, people are always making the best choices available to them at the time. 5, we have all the resources we need. 6, the map is not the territory. 7, anything is achievable if chunked down into small enough pieces. 8, communication is redundant. We're always communicating. 9, communication is the response you get. And 10, all symptoms are a communication about needed action. So let's continue. Number 11. This is about being flexible. Ooh, what does that look like? You know those girls that can kick their legs all the way up? Wow. Or do the jump splits in the Chinese splits, as they call them? Well, number 11, presupposition. The element with the most flexibility in any system will have the most influence. If you think about your car, there's a lot of influence with all the metal pieces, but the thing that really makes your car run are the belts. The soft, flexible, tough, strong, and flexible belts. And if you don't have a flexible belt and it breaks, boom, bummer. Or if the belt's too tight and it's not flexible, your car won't run. And it's the same thing in human behavior. When you have 2 people and one person is not flexible, they are a victim to their emotions, their feelings, their thoughts. They're a victim to the situation. They're not flexible. The other person might say, well, okay, then I'll move. I'm flexible. Or I'll move my house. Or I will move my location. I am flexible because I can be reasonable. Or that might work now, but not so well at another time. This flexibility is you have to have a lot of wherewithal. You have to have a lot of confidence, a lot of skills in your tool bag. And so you will be the controlling element when you have flexibility. Now, I would love to have interviewed someone today about this. I just didn't get around to that one because I'd like to talk about that and what that means to a person. What does it mean to be flexible in a negotiation? Well, okay, I'll give you 10 more. Will you give me 5 more? Okay, how about 3? All right, 3.5 sounds really good to me. But the person that comes in, nope. Just this, just that. They might win some wars, but they're not going to win battles. And so how can you be flexible? What resources do you need to be flexible with a negotiation or with boundaries or with rules for your home or yourself or your business when you're talking to your clients, to your superiors? So how does that help you to be flexible? Think about it. And you want to be firm enough in certain places, which is called boundaries. And you want to really stick to the boundaries. That's another whole podcast on boundaries, which I'm getting to. Boundaries are the same and different. Some boundaries, I'm not flexible. You don't get to shoot heroin in my home. I'm not flexible on that. I'm nice and kind about it, but I'm not flexible. I might be flexible about how to say it, how to enforce it, etc. So there's always some subjectivity in anything in human behavior. So take this as it fits for you and let me know in the comments how that is working for you. The next one, number 12. Every behavior is useful in some context. Now I remember my daughter, and if she's listening, I love you, but girl, you're kind of intense and you've always been intense. And so I remember being at my hairdresser's talking about my daughter being really intense. And my hairdresser stopped and she looked at me and she says, oh, how I wish Tiffany was like that. I remember thinking, really? Oh my gosh. She says, oh my gosh, that intensity is going to get your daughter so far. I go, really? Like, what do you mean? And she went on. She said, your daughter sets boundaries. She shows up in the world. My daughter just sits there and lets people roll all over. And I thought, wow. And that was a huge reframe for me, that something I thought was negative was actually a positive, because as the presupposition states, every behavior is useful in some context. Stealing might be useful in some, I don't know, whatever your beliefs are, but to steal something that would save someone's life that cost a penny, is it useful? Is it not? So is being rude useful? I don't like rude people. You should never be rude. Well, sometimes rude is good. Sometimes it gets someone to listen to me. Is anger useful in some context? Yes. Because I'm going to march down to that parent's house and say, if your son does that to my son again, blah, blah, blah. And my anger is going to be useful in some context. How about depression? Well, every symptom has a communication. That's the last podcast in presupposition. But the depression might serve me as a positive intent somehow, but it's useful if that's the only thing I know how to do. Maybe depression is the only thing I know right now. So in some context, it's going to be useful, in parentheses, in some context. You can talk about every single thing, even in the Bible and the scriptures and all. There's murders that take place that God said was a good thing because it was useful in that context. But no, not in that context. Don't kill people. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. But in some contexts, and that's up to you to decide what those contexts are, the lesser of two evils, etc. So there's a whole lot there, as usual, in these presuppositions. So as you take a breath and integrate that one, and I hope you're writing these down so you can go over them and contemplate them this week. Let's do one more today. 13. If what you're doing doesn't work, do something different. You think? It's called feedback. There's no failure, there's only feedback. And that's not working. It's just like a plant. If you put this fertilizer on it, it doesn't work so well, it killed it. So next time you do something different. Or you talk to someone and it's not working, do something different. So be flexible to change what you're doing. Do not push a square peg through a round hole. The biggest failures, there's no failure, only feedback. The biggest feedback my clients get is that's not working. Oh, that's not working. And I see people loop in a circle and they keep smacking themselves in the face and go, oh, it hurts so bad when I smack myself in the face. Oh my gosh, my face. Oh my gosh, my face hurts so bad. I don't know why. And if you did something else, then it might work better. So if you are doing something over and over, they say, stick to it, stick to your dream, go for it, keep on, don't quit. Well, hey, don't quit the big dream, but quit the vehicle you're in, or quit the gas you put in, or shift or change the attitude. There's something in there that's not working, so do something different. Yeah? And it's about assessing along the way, and it's really about stepping back and looking, say, yeah, that's not working. Maybe your marriage isn't working. We'll do something different. Divorce is so not the only option. Hello? Divorce is a option. And there's so many things you can do other than that to learn to communicate, to learn to understand, to learn to honor and respect, to learn to set boundaries. So if what you're doing doesn't work, do something different. Maybe not the global thing different, like quitting your job, getting divorced, or moving across the country, but yet inside of the big things are all the little things that you can do to really change your outcome. So there you go. There's 3 more presuppositions. Next time, we'll finish up with the last 3, and I hope that these are helping you. And I wanted to go slow on these. Can you imagine me doing this all in one podcast? It would overwhelm me, so it would overwhelm most people. This way we can take some time, think about it, and listen to the next podcast. When you're ready, you'll look for number 5. So take care, have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to my channel so we can hang out. Also, go to whatstopsyou.com for notes to this podcast, more articles, and more tips so you can indeed live the best years of your life now.